Hello everyone, welcome to the class FIN 504 Financial Management. My name is Pratima. You will see FNU written over here, so forget about it. It's a long story. I'm not going to bore you with that story. But you can address me as Dr. Pratima or Professor, whatever way you like. That's fine with me. Um, My office number is BA210, although it's not much relevant for you being it an online course, completely online course. But yes, this is my email address, and this would be something which is most important to you all. Uh, Whenever you have any questions, any doubts, feel free to email me. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you need to schedule a one-on-one appointment, then also email me with your doubts or questions or any concerns. If I will be able to solve your doubts or concerns via email, I will do that. If that is not possible, I am always open to schedule a one-on-one meeting. We can always schedule a Zoom meeting and then talk on that. Sometimes I understand that it's required. We sometimes feel like that one-to-one environment. We feel like be a part of that environment. So that is completely understandable to me, and we can always schedule. I do not have any office hours mentioned as such specifically here, but those one-on-one calls can be scheduled at any time. So depending on the availability of both of us. So, but I'm always open to that. I love interactions. As far as course related information is concerned, we will use the book by Moyers, McGuinn, and Ramesh, Contemporary Financial Management, 14th edition for this particular course. Other than that, you will need to have a financial calculator. I would recommend using Texas Instruments BA2 Plus or any other calculator you can use. That is up to you. But for my classes, whenever you will watch the videos that I post, I will use Texas Instruments BA2 Plus. That will be the calculator that I'll be using. I will explain all the functions of that calculator. Um, Other than this, for this particular course, I strongly believe that you need to have strong MS Excel skills for that. It's not only for the successful completion of this course, and I'm not saying that you will be entering into this course with the excellent Excel skills, but I would explain some of the parts using MS Excel, and whatever I will explain, I will test you only on that basis. It's not I will try to test you on out of the way. That's not going to happen. But the corporate world, once you will pass out, once you will graduate, once you will get out of this university and enter into your professional life, MS Excel is that minimum skill which all the employers are looking for. So sometimes we underrate it, that, oh, it's just Excel, and who cares about Excel anymore these days? No, that is not true. It is still the most required skill. So I will try to include Excel while in my teaching as much as possible. And in your assignments also, you will be given one or two assignments which will be based on Excel. So make yourself comfortable with MS Excel. So for this course, it will include majorly all the modern corporate finance areas, where we will try to understand the financial decision making, or as a financial manager, what are the decisions one is required to make, and while making those decisions, what are the different factors that the financial manager needs to consider. For example, broadly, the functions can be divided into three categories. Any financial manager broadly takes three different kinds of decisions, which would be investment decision. For investment decision, it can be long-term or short-term investment. When it is about long-term investment, it is called capital budgeting decision. When it is about short-term investments, then it is called working capital management. Working capital management further has some parts: inventory management, cash management, receivables management. And other second major decision would be capital structure decision, that whatever overall capital that firm has or whatever finance is required, what proportion of that finance should come from which source. This is a very important decision. We will discuss about it, like why it is so important, how does it affect the overall objective of the firm. And then the third and the final decision would be a dividend decision. Once investment is done, and for making that investment, we arrange the finance from wherever we wanted, and all the activities have taken place, then finally the end result would be in terms of income for that business. Now the financial manager has to take a very important decision, that how to distribute those funds. Should everything go to the pocket of the shareholders in the form of dividend, or they should keep a part of those funds for refinancing, okay, for reinvestment purposes, sorry, not refinancing, for reinvestment purposes. So why this decision is so important, we'll talk about this one also. And whatever a financial manager decides, every decision, always remember, this is a very important sentence that I'm using here, that every decision is taken keeping into mind the major objective of the business. And the major objective is always to maximize shareholders' wealth. So we will talk in detail about it, and apart from it, we will also try to understand domestic as well as international financial markets. So how US financial market is different from international financial markets, and what are the additional challenges one can face when one is exposed to international financial market. What are the different securities traded in those markets, and what are the additional risk factors one has to take into consideration before entering into international financial market. So we will talk about that one as well. So not only the theory related to all these aspects, we will also discuss their practical applications. The major learning outcomes for this course would be that anyone after taking this course, so all of you should be able to analyze and evaluate different financial assets in domestic and international financial market as source of financial capital. You should be able to apply present and future value concepts to special situations, such as when there are different growth rates or any loan amortization problems. You should be able to evaluate strategic financial decisions in risk-return context as it relates to today's dynamic world. So there has to be a balance between risk and return while making those financial decisions. Then you should be able to demonstrate an ability to analyze and apply asset valuation techniques. So these would be the major learning outcomes for this specific course, and by understanding all that, you should be able to identify and evaluate global business challenges in terms of for those financial aspects of the business. And also you should be able to analytically solve those problems which come in the business environment. We will learn how to solve those problems. As far as grading is concerned, the grading scale will be the traditional grading scale which you have been seeing in all different courses. So it's not different in any manner. It's going to be the same traditional grading scale. Then there would be one midterm exam, one final exam. The midterm exam would be 30% of the overall course grade. Final exam would be 40% of it. There would be 4 homework assignments, which will in total contribute towards 20% of your overall grade, and there would be one case study, which is 10% of your overall grade. So there will be 2 exams in this course. One is like midterm would be 30% and final exam would be 40%. Always remember, there will be no automatic makeup exam. If you will miss any exam, you will automatically receive a grade of 0. Unless and until you do not reach out to me. If you have any problems, any questions, any concerns, any schedule issues, you need to request me 10 days before the makeup exam, before the exam. Then only I can make arrangement for makeup exam. And make sure you do not do the same for the final exam. Reason being, in the final exam, I will have very limited time. Yes, sometimes it's possible that I can give you final exam before time. So, and there is no guarantee that you will be allowed for the makeup exam. There has to be a justifiable reason for that. But definitely, once again, I want to stress it out that whenever you have such kind of a situation, you need to reach out to me. And then only I will analyze the situation. Okay. And for homework assignments, all those homework assignments will be through D2L. Okay, which will contribute, each one of them will contribute like 5% towards the course grade. And these homework assignments can be in the form of Excel worksheet, where you need to work on some problems using Excel. And they can also be in the form of like multiple choice questions given through D2L, or maybe case analysis. So different kind of, and this would be different from the 10% case analysis which is given at the end. Then there will be a case study which would be assigned in the middle of the semester, and everybody is expected to work out the problem independently. It would constitute towards 10% of the overall course grade. So that's how the course is structured. Apart from, for all these topics that we will cover, I will record the videos and I will post those recorded videos. You need to watch those videos, and definitely your homework assignments will cover whatever has been done so far. Apart from it, there will be some live sessions, live classes, which would be on alternate weeks. And definitely I will record those classes. But I want to tell you one thing. If there is no student present in those live sessions, definitely I will not have anything to record. In that case, do not expect any recording. So please try to be present in those live classes, because interaction is always the best way of learning. That's what I strongly believe. You will get to know more about me. I'll get to know more about you. I mean, these simply recorded lectures, that doesn't give that kind of a feeling. But if we are there in face-to-face classes, then it would make a big difference. Okay, so try to be present in those live classes. whatever our review session would be it for final exam or be it for midterm exam, that will be conducted through these live sessions. Okay, and you will see those in an announcement. The complete schedule for those live classes will be there in those announcements. Here is the course outline. Of course, this is a tentative outline. Chances are we will stick to it, but if needed, if circumstances change a little bit, I definitely can change it a little bit, but tentatively it would be like that only, whatever is mentioned here. You will have your midterm exam on 15th of February, which is week 5. Okay, and for this one, the review session would be on 12th of February. So this review session would be live. Same way, final exam review would be on 10th of March, and this one also would be live. Okay, 2 of those sessions would be live, and apart from this, like, I will hold more live sessions. These are some of the relevant dates: last day to drop the classes, last day of the classes, first day of the classes, census day, and all. And you can read all other part on your own, like the technology requirements, and everything is mentioned here. One more thing that I wanted to, for any technical space, support related to your D2L, you can go there. And there are some other important links here regarding student conduct, universities pandemic response, attendance policy, and all those things, non-discrimination notice. And this is also very important information regarding counseling center. You can access these people, you can call them whenever you feel like that you need some help from there. So all these links, all these information resources, they are definitely helpful to all the students. So always keep in mind that you have them all on your syllabus. Whenever you are you face any kind of problem, just go back and have a look at your syllabus. You definitely find some source for your problem depending on what your problem is. Okay, so that's all about the syllabus. If you have any questions, any concerns regarding anything, feel free to email me. I would be happy to answer you. Also, always keep a watch on your announcements. So I will be announcing different information from whatever information is there. I'll be announcing it from time to time, and you will some important information would be there, like sometimes there is a job opening close by, right? So once we get to know about that, I will put that on the announcement. So you should keep checking your announcements regularly. I will try to email you all the important information along with that. So, but always remember to check your announcements regularly. Okay, so that's all about the syllabus. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me and I'll be happy to answer. And if a question is coming from multiple students, then definitely the answer will go to the announcements as well. Okay, so that's all for it. Thank you and have a great day.